Good morning to all of you. Welcome back in this class. I hope you are healthy and safe at your home. This is the class 9 subject social science, and today we are going to discuss chapter number 2 of economics, and the topic name is people as resource, and this is the lecture 3rd. Student, in previous lecture we have discussed about the importance of education and health, because a healthy person can contribute in the growth of society and they can enhance the national income. So student, let's start, and today we are discuss some subtopic, and firstly we will discuss about health, because health is the most important factor of population. And after that we will discuss about unemployment means when some people they are not getting any kind of job. And after that we will discuss about types of unemployment, and after that we will discuss about effects of unemployment, means negative impact of unemployment in our country. And after that we will discuss about employment scenario in the three sector economy activity. They have a three sector and they provide different opportunity to employment. And after that we will discuss about homework solution, that question I have assigned in previous lecture. So student, let's start. Firstly we will discuss about, and health is the most important factor of population, because the health of a person help him to realize his and her potential. And health is the ability to fight illness, and the good health increase the efficiency of a worker, and it improves the quality of life, because health does not mean survival only. It involves not only the physical health, physical fitness, it includes is mental, economic and social health. And health is the ability to fight illness, because a good health increase the learning power, learning capacity, and it increase the efficiency of a worker. And a healthy person can do work better, and they improve the quality of a. And next, good health increases the learning capacity of a worker, because a healthy person they can do work better and they enhance their learning capacity. And a healthy worker is an asset for the firm as well as for the country, because every firm they want to maximize their profit. And if the healthy worker doing work, the healthy person they work more better than unhealthy person, and they earn more income. So a healthy worker is an asset for the firm, and a healthy person they can contribute in the growth of society and also contribute in the national income. So we can say that health is the most important factor of quality of population. So next point is steps taken to improve health condition, and the government has taken some step. First, it improving the accessibility of healthcare, means poor person they easily get medical facility nearby area. And the government also started family welfare program, and also started nutrition supplement service provided to all poor persons, and this special focus on underprivileged section means poor section, because they have no money and they have no any resources. So the government provided medical facility to all poor persons to improve the condition of health. And next, outcomes of health. Due to different provision, during the last 50 years, India has built up a vast healthcare, manpower and infrastructure, and the result are, due to different provision, in last 50 years India has built many medical facility and many healthcare facility. So in our country, according to the 2014, life expectancy has increased to over 68.3, means the average time of life expected to live in our country, it is 68.3. And infant mortality rate has also come down, because in 1951 it was 147, but in 2016 it is 634. And due to different provision, birth rate has dropped to 20.4%, and death rate also decreased 6.4%. Infant mortality rate means it is the death of a child under the age of 1 year due to lack of medical facility. And Birth rate means it is the number of babies born of every 1,000 people during a period of time. And death rate also, it is the number of people per 1,000 who die during a period of time. So these are some outcomes of health. So due to different provision in our country, life expectancy is 68.3% and infant mortality rate, death rate and birth rate also decreased. And next is health challenge. But due to whose population in our country there is a lack of medical facility, and in our country there are some primary health center, some community health center, but due to whose population there is a less of medical facility, because in our country only 381 medical colleges opened by the government and only 301 dental colleges, and the maximum number of colleges in 4 states such as Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So it is the duty of the government to improve the health facility in our country. Because with the help of medical facility we can enhance our health condition, because a healthy person can contribute in the growth of society. So, and next topic is unemployment. You know student, many people are involving in economic activity for their survival. They earning money, but some people they are not getting any kind of job, so these people are called unemployed person. So in this topic we will discuss about unemployment. Unemployment means when people who are willing to work, at the available wages and salary but cannot find a job. Means it is a situation when people want to do any work but they cannot find a job. So this situation, it is called unemployment. And in unemployment, the workforce includes all people from the age of 15 to 59. Means it includes only working population 15 to 59, and working population children and elderly people above the age of 59 are not included in workforce, so they are not considered as unemployed. Only those person under the age of 15 to 59 they are considered unemployed, and above the age of 59 they are not considered as unemployment person. And next is nature of unemployment. In our country there are two types of unemployment are found, especially in rural area and in urban area. And in rural area there are two types of unemployment are found, such as seasonal unemployment and disguised unemployment. And in urban areas, educated unemployment, because in urban area people are more educated, and in urban area 16.1% people are more educated than rural area. So student, firstly we will discuss about rural area. And rural area, firstly we will discuss seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment means India is a agriculture land country, because in our country 60% people dependent on agriculture, and agriculture is a seasonal activity. And seasonal unemployment, it happens when people are not able to find job during some month of the year, because some there are certain months, certain busy seasons, certain busy months, such like when people are busy in sowing, harvesting, weeding and threshing, but some month they are not able to find any kind of job. So in the rural area we can say that seasonal unemployment is found, and it is mostly found in the area of agro based industry. Agro based industry means those industry are based on agriculture product. And seasonal unemployment is found in rural area or urban area, because in urban area many industry they dependent on agriculture. So seasonal unemployment is found in rural or urban areas. Disguised unemployment. Disguised unemployment means it is a situation, it is a type of unemployment under which people appears to be employed, They look like they employed in some work, but actually they are not employed. They are not doing anything. It is mostly found in agriculture sector, and it is mainly found in rural areas, because in rural areas among family member engaged in agriculture activity. And it is a situation in which more workers are working in an activity than required. Means all member are engaged in same worker. They are not required of any type of workers. And in this activity, in this employment, people who are actually engaged in activity appear to be employed but are not fully employed. Means extra worker engaged in agriculture activity. And now next example, if for the cultivation of 1 hectare land, 10 workers are required for cultivation of 1 hectare land, but instead of 10 workers, 15 workers are working in the cultivation of land. If in this case 5 extra workers are an example of disguised unemployment. If 5 people are removed from the agriculture activity, if the surplus worker are removed, the production does not suffer. So we can say that the extra member are removed from the production, so the production does not affected. So we can say that in this situation, this employment, extra worker, they doing work but they are not really employed. So we can say that disguised unemployment are found in rural area. And next is educated unemployment. Educated unemployment mostly found in urban area, because in urban area people 16.1% people are more educated than rural areas. And in rural area, many youth, means young generation, they have matriculation degree, they have a matric degree, they have +2 degree, they have graduation degree, MA and PhD degree, and but they are not able to find any kind of a job. They cannot find any kind of job. And there is a unemployment among technical qualified person, because in our country there is a unemployment mostly in technical qualified person. And while there is a dearth of technical skill required for economic growth, because there is a lack of technical skill required for it economic growth, because for economic growth we need technical and skill based educated person, but there is a lack of technical and skill based knowledge. So we can say that in urban areas especially educated unemployment is found, because they have degree, they are more educated, but they are not able to find any kind of a job. Next is problems of unemployment. It leads to wastage of manpower. There is a negative impact of unemployment in our economy, because due to unemployment it leads to wastage of manpower resources, because human capital is the ability of skill and knowledge, and due to employment it wastage of manpower, it wastage of skills and ability of a person. And people who are an assets for the economy, they turn into liability, because they cannot contribute in the growth of society. And due to unemployment there is a feeling of hopelessness, and there is a feeling of depression, disappear. And people do not have enough money, because they cannot earn any money and they cannot support their family. It tends to increase the economy overload, because due to unemployment it burden on their parents, on economy also, because they cannot earn money, they cannot support their family, they cannot contribute in the growth of society. And inability to educated people are willing to work, mean those students, those educated people, they have knowledge, skill, they willing to work, but they cannot find any gainful employment. It is a great social waste. And the quality of life of an individual as well as of society is adversely affected, because when when unemployed person, they cannot earn money, they cannot contribute in the society, so the quality of life also affected, and the quality of life of individual and society also affected, negatively affected. An increase in unemployment is an indicator of a depressed economy, because due to unemployment, people, they are not getting any job and they cannot earn money, they cannot contribute in the national income, and they cannot contribute in the growth of society. So all these factors, these are indicator of depressed economy. So there are negative impact of unemployment in our economy. So student, next topic is employment scenario in three sector. And you know, in a economy activity, there are three sector: primary, secondary and tertiary sector. And many people are engaging in primary, secondary and tertiary for their survival, for their earning money. So first is primary sector, and primary sector, it is also called agriculture sector, because in this sector we can use natural resources. And primary sector is the most, primary sector means agriculture sector is the most labor absorbing sector, because in our country 60% people is already working in the primary sector, and so there is a no further scope for more employment. And in this sector is also facing the problem of disguised unemployment. Disguised unemployment means in which more workers are working an activity than required. So many people has moved to secondary or tertiary sector for their employment. So we can say that in primary sector, 60% people are engaged in primary sector, but in this sector they find a problem or disguised unemployment, so they move to secondary or tertiary sector. Secondary sector means industry sector, manufacturing sector, and this sector has the maximum capacity to absorb surplus labor from the primary sector, because in primary sector, due to the problem of disguised unemployment, many people migrate to secondary and tertiary sector. And in this sector, the small scale industry has the maximum capacity, because just like cottage industry should also be set up in rural areas, and the government has taken some step to improve the condition in secondary sector, just like small scale industry. And third is tertiary sector. Tertiary sector means service sector, and tertiary sector is the most important sector, because which can help in removing the unemployment problem. And in this sector, new services are appearing, just like biotechnology, information technology and media, and this sector also provides service sector. So many people migrate to secondary and tertiary sector for their employment. So we can say that there are maximum scope in secondary and tertiary sector, but now only in our country primary sector is the most absorbing sector, especially in agriculture sector. And second is land and physical capital resources. These are secondary factor of production, as they cannot become useful on their own. And second, these are passive factor of production. So they are different between human capital and land and other factors. Next question, what is the role of education in human capital formation? And point first, education increases the efficiency of the workers, and second, it enhances the national income, it enhances cultural richness, and fourth point, it increases the efficiency of governance, and fifth, it opens new aspiration and develops value of life. And next is, It opens new horizon for a person. And 7, it leads to higher productivity. And point number 8, it contributes to the growth of society. So these are the important features of education. They contribute in human capital formation. Question number 3. What is the aim of Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan? And answer is, it was started in 2001 and it is a time-bound initiative of central government with the states, local government and the community for the attaining the goal of universalization of elementary education, and it provides education to all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. So this are the aim of Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. And question number 4. What is the full form of CSC and PSC? And answer is, CSC stand for Community Health Center and PSC stand for Primary Health Center. And question number 5. Name the two states which have poor health indices and few medical colleges. And answer is Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Question number 6. Why are women employed in low paid work? Explain. And answer is, there is a division of labor between men and women due to historical and cultural reasons. Second, among women the literacy rate and skill formation are low. And third, there is a no job security for women. And fourth, the legal protection of women employees are very less. So we can say that women, they get low wages. So student, today your homework, do following questions. Question number first, what are differences between disguised and seasonal unemployment? Question number second, unemployment has a detrimental impact on the overall growth of an economy. Justify the statement. And question number third, which is the most labor absorbing sector of the Indian economy? What trend has been recently noticed in terms of dependence of population on this sector? And what is the reason for that? Question number 4, what is the role of health in human capital formation? Firstly, you have to revise complete chapter, and after that you have to find out, and all questions should be in points. And after that you have to complete your notebook and send me on my mail, and keep learning. Thank you.